Arizona, you have, then the next thing you know, you're down in Volusia and East Bay and Screven for the Winter Nationals and Speed Weeks, Golden Isles. There is no off season anymore if you are somebody that works in the dirt track industry.
Yeah, no, it's a full-time deal and it's a grind, and that's why I said for everybody it's almost too much because they don't stop.
So do you feel we're guilty of our own demise, Brian, Shirley? Why things have become the way they become? Maybe less car counts at events, less fan attendance because we're just doing it too damn much. It's too saturated. It's so going.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I'm not sure. I just know as for myself, as many races as I put in, and by the time I get to November, I mean, I sure like to at least take a couple months off, and it makes it tough. It makes it tough anymore because you hate to not go if you got an opportunity to make some money.
Right.
It's no different than a person that's got to go to work every day 9 to 5, but it takes a lot more work than just showing up and going and punching a time clock than what it is when you're on the road and working and stuff like that. So all in all, I think we need to have a little bit of time off, but I don't make those decisions. I just get paid to drive a race car.
That's right. I think you hit the nail on the head on that, Brian. I meet so many people myself, and they say, "Oh my God, you got the greatest job in the world." You do races and television and radio and go all over the country like these drivers do. And it's like, yeah, we love what we do when we're at the track, but what sucks is the travel. What sucks is the different hotel rooms, the scenery changes. You get tired of being at the airports, flying, going here, going there, going to that terminal. Having the flight delays, having travel with in the car. It's just you never know what to expect. And I tell people this all the time, Brian, and you can testify as being a driver. This racing life is you gotta love it. You gotta have a passion for it because it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
No. I mean, it's definitely not all sunshine and rainbows for sure. I mean, it's just something like you said that. A lot of people, I mean, the sad part is there's not a lot of new people getting into racing.
Right.
It's because it's a lot of hard work, and there's a lot of testament times where you decide to keep going or give it, call in the towel. So for most people this day and age, there's just a lot of easier ways to make a living and you just choose not to work as hard as we do.
Couple more minutes with the Squirrel, Brian Shirley, driver of the car number 3 Rocket XR1 out of Springfield, Illinois, 3-time in 2019 Dirt Car Racing Summer Nationals Hell Tour champion for the driver of the number 3S entry. And Brian, what is your plans for the rest of the 2019 season? Obviously, you mentioned these big races, but you really don't per se run on an exclusive tour, do you?
No, we just go to which race makes the most sense for the team and the team to make money. And then, obviously we got the Crater Classic, which is only a couple of hours away up in Fairbury. And then we go up to Wisconsin. The guy that owns my race team lives up there. So he likes to go do Plymouth and Plymouth and then Cedar Lake, the U.S. Nationals. And then we get home where we evaluate what's going on here. There's a few races, in the Midwest that we'll run, and you got Knoxville, you got Eldora, Dirt Track World Championships. So we'll take the team and try and do our best at those races, and then next thing you know, it'll be freaking October, November. It'll be time to try and start getting ready for next year.
That's right, and then of course races on Thanksgiving in the Dome in December. I know you'll be a part of that one as well if you choose to. I know you've done it before. Real quickly, talk about that experience. What is that like racing inside of a dome?
It's definitely, I mean, anytime you can do something like that, it's cool. You get all the people around you and, you don't have them on top of you like you would at most places. So anytime you can go inside, don't have to worry about the weather and the atmosphere is just, really second to none. So it's a good thing for everybody to go and see and try and do it at least once in their life and say they've went and got to see what it's like to, race something inside a big old dome.
Yeah, and by the way, that date has changed this year. The third running of the VP Racing Fuels Gateway Dirt Nationals at the Dome in St. Louis will be December the 19th, 20th, and 21st, and that's going to be right before Christmas. So that's really kind of cutting it right into the holidays. That's just one of those things you were talking about again, Brian, but I think it's something to do with the building and other events that were scheduled there. And, I mean, we've gone from, damn it, right after Thanksgiving to the week before Thanksgiving last year, and now we're going to right before Christmas.
Yeah, it's crazy, but think about all the racing that goes on. And like you said, now we start out there in Mexico or somewhere, right after January, and then you go to Arizona, and then you can go to Speed Weeks. I mean, you definitely don't have to worry about staying at home if you don't want to stay at home.
That's right. Definitely. Well, Brian Shirley, congratulations on your Hell Tour Championship, buddy. Thanks for being on Finish Line. And before we let you go, thank your sponsors on that Rocket XR1 car number 3.
Yeah, I appreciate it. We can't do it without Bob and Lisa Colin, Thomason Express, Kids Castle, KBC Graphics, Mark and Steve Baker, Rocket Chassis, Integra Shocks. Our Durham engine runs good, and we do it because of all our product sponsors and my wife, my dad, the people that help me back home when I'm on the road, and couldn't do it without my crew, Big R, Logan, Albie, Wade, Larry. Those guys all help out a bunch. So we appreciate them and can't thank everybody enough for all that they do for us.
Hey, one final thing. Me and you were at Eldora a couple of years ago, and you told me the story of where the nickname Squirrel Brian Shirley came from for you. Let my colleagues and listeners on Finish Line know the story of where you became known as Squirrel.
Yeah, that was the deal where when we used to have time, me and Bab used to go ride dirt bikes, and we were at this motocross track, and he wasn't as good as I was on a dirt bike, and I was always jumping the doubles or the triples, and he said, you just fly through there like a squirrel. And then ever since then, it's been one of those names that just stuck with it. So thanks to Shannon Babb, I got the nickname Squirrel.
Absolutely, definitely. So Shannon Babb, the Moequa Missile, why'd I add? That's a unique nickname, too. That's one to spell out for sure. But definitely Squirrel, I think, fits you perfectly. So, well, Brian, man, thanks for being on Finish Line, and I look forward to seeing you at a race somewhere very soon, my friend.
Thanks, bud. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yes, sir. From Springfield, Illinois, 2019, third championship in the Hell Tour for the driver of the car number 3 Rocket XR1, Squirrel Brian Shirley. Just one of those awesome people that I get the privilege to look at in the dirt super late model world. And you mentioned, he mentioned all the great events coming up. You'll see him somewhere at a track very, very soon. We go from Squirrel to K-Rocket. Coming up next, it's Kyle Thomas.
This is Finish Line.
Getting involved in the motorsports industry? Late models, helmets, modifieds, doesn't matter. Need to have a wrap job done? Then let All About Wraps take care of you. All About Wraps strives to offer our clients with fast, affordable service from go-karts to the national touring level and everything in between. Wraps on race cars, design services, and promotions. There's no job that they can't do to make your vehicle be on the cutting edge of looking great. Race wraps are starting at just $500. Contact All About Wraps today, and let's see what they can do for your racing team. Call them up at 410-903-3302. Or send them an email at allaboutwraps@hotmail.com. All About Wraps.
Time to get this cranked up on Short Track America.
Dirt or pavement, from east to west. Short Track America features some of the biggest grassroots races around the country. Super late models to street stock racing. If it's on a half-mile or smaller track, it's on Short Track America. On MAV TV, Motorsports Network.
This is Chris Nunn from the Sling and Dirt Podcast and the announcer at Twin Cities Raceway Park in North Vernon, Indiana. And you're listening to The Finish Line with the hashtag king himself, Wesley Outland.
This is Finish Line.
Past the hour, 12 Eastern, 11 Central. Welcome back to Finish Line. Fox Sports Radio, Community Radio Network, iHeartRadio, iTunes Radio, tuned in, Google Podcast, Spreaker, Spotify. Oh yeah, we got you covered. And soon, Apple Podcasts. For those that are in the iPhone world. Funny thing, I got on Google Podcasts with no damn problem. Can't get on Apple Podcasts. I don't use an Apple phone. Go figure. I'm not a fan of the iPhone. I'm sorry. Shoot me. Get ready to go back to the phone lines here. Oh, my goodness. Oh, thank you to Trey Snyder running the boards, our executive producer. You have a good vacation? What's that? Obviously, you're going to talk. Really, you're going to talk. He was great vacation for Trey Snyder. He enjoyed it with his family and loved ones. Hey, by the way, don't forget about that. He's got a show called the Bravo Sports Report. And if you are a big fan of the Atlanta Braves, chop on, baby. Chop on, Atlanta Braves. Go Braves. Oh. Every time I hear that, I think of Florida State. I don't know why in the hell, who in the Atlanta Braves industry for football or baseball decided to use that. Because every time I hear that chant, I think of the Seminoles, and I think of Florida State. But anyhow, chop on, Braves. Bravo Sports every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Recapping everything in the world of Atlanta Braves baseball. Just one of the great things on Fox Sports Radio and CRN. We're going to go back to the phone lines now, and we are going to go to Pennsboro, West Virginia is where we're going to right now. Awesome, great people, man. Great time had up there at the great state of West Virginia. We had on Freddie Carpenter talking about the big win over the weekend for the race, the UBB at the I-77 Speedway in Ripley, West Virginia. And now we're going to go to the phone lines, and we're going to chat it up with K-Rocket, Kyle Thomas, the driver of the car, number 57 entry, the Rocket XR1, of course, out of Pennsboro, West Virginia. Big win. The biggest win of his career. He's won a lot of great races. He's had a lot of successes, championships, but nothing as big as the Great American Crate Race. The $7,000 champion holding off Thug Nasty Logan Robertson by using lap traffic as a pick on one hell of a last couple of laps at the bull ring. Oh my goodness. Kyle Thomas, welcome to Finish Line, my friend. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Man, talk about the race over the weekend.
Oh, it was great. John Watson and the crew, they put on a good racing surface for us at Tyler County Speedway. I screwed up a little bit in qualifying, which it rebounded and it helped me out. I started on outside row of a heat race, and that's always the better place to start at Tyler County.
Right.
So we kind of got to jump in the heat there and got out in the lead and feature. That put us on the outside row of the feature, and we was pretty smooth there. I was biding my time, trying to save my tires and stuff, and Trey Watson, me and him run good racing there. He was on top of his game every time on the restarts. I mean, when I fire, he'd fire. He was right there. And come down to a nail-biter the last couple of laps there. I think I relaxed a little too much.
Yeah, and of course, when it was all said and done, a great finish between you guys. Y'all were racing hard. And by the way, you mentioned the young man, Trey Watson. Props to Trey Watson. I root for all you guys. I don't really have any favorites per se. I wish all you guys could win in my book, but there can only be one winner when the checkered flag falls. But Trey Watson, somebody that I've followed